Hey guys, so I actually want to do a makeup challenge, which is drawing with makeup, but I might have to go and buy some more supplies, but I'm gonna show you what makeup I usually have. Um, all of this is pretty old, because technically speaking, I don't really use makeup a lot, so yeah. So this is my makeup pouch, literally, this is all that I have. I don't have a whole bunch, but I'm gonna show you guys my options anyways. I have this nice melting pelt, which is kind of something you just use for your lips. It's kind of like this shiny, it feels like a lip gloss when you put it on. It's not super like intense like a actual makeup, like a not makeup but like a lipstick. This one is a big eye false liquid eyeliner. Literally, it's just a fine tip that I tried to find. I keep trying to find like a bunch of fine tips for these. This again, this is a lip liner that I have. It's a Maybelline New York one, and I basically just use this for also eyeliner as well. Um, this one is from Shoppers Drug Mart. It's their own cheaper brand that they sell, which is Essence, and this is Be Kissed by the Moon. It's an eye and face palette, so you can use it for blush and also eyeshadow. And then I have another eyeliner. Some of these are dried out, so to be honest, I might not even use these for my artwork. Some of these are old, so I need to get rid of them. This one is kind of like this lip liner from Revlon. It's an eyeliner, but yeah. So this one is a nice green, like a foresty green. And then I have another one that is like this nice shiny dark blue. I might have to buy more from my workplace just because I don't have a lot of shades of stuff. This one is a nice lipstick, which to be honest, I don't really use lipstick. This is another Essence one. Most of the makeup that I buy is from Shoppers Drug Mart just because it was cheaper at the time, so this was within budget. This is like this nice foresty green. It's a lip paint, which I don't use often because it doesn't even match my skin tone, to be honest. And then I have this eye pencil that's white color, but I'm pretty sure this is kind of all used up by now. Another black LA Colors eyeliner. This one is a crayon tip, a pencil tip, rather than just like a normal liquid eyeliner. I have this white lip balm, which I probably won't even use for the video. This one is from the Face Shop. It's a mascara. I also have this velvet matte lipstick, which is cherry red. This is actually from my workplace, but I haven't used it yet. Surprisingly, I bought it. I don't know why, but I don't even use it at all. But it's this super pretty red. Another thing is this other lipstick that I bought from my workplace. I bought this when I started, actually. It's a soft lipstick. It's a maple red. This one I did use like once or twice. Then I have this brown eye pencil, but it's kind of broken and I don't have a sharpener for it. I should have bought a sharpener. What else? There's this Color Stray Revlon lip liner, which I basically used once for my Guru designed makeup. Basically, I put it on like the edge of my eyes, like the bottom part. I also have this Revlon purple lilac mist makeup lipstick. And this is also an eyeliner. It's just like a black one, I think. Literally, it comes with this, and then it came with a brush. So, this brush, and you can basically just paint it on your eyes. And then we have a couple more things. I have this small brush. Brush options, I might have to buy a new brush, like a thinner brush from my workplace, just because I want to do some thinner lines, or I might just use this one. Actually, I don't really want to buy too much makeup brushes. This one is another eyeliner. As you can see, I was like looking for a whole bunch of like thin eyeliners, to be honest, and I couldn't really find one that really was easy. I prefer like the liquid ones, but they're like the pencil ones. This one, we have some eyeshadow, so light blue and a dark purplish blue. And then this one is some blush. These are kind of old, so I think these will be perfect for like doing an actual like drawing with them. I do have some more things in this pouch, which used to be my mom's, so this is not actually mine. These are pretty old, but they're still usable because they're super dry anyways. So this one, you have like the compact, and then you have the foundation and the sponge. And this one is some eyeshadow, which is kind of like this dark brown palette, which is perfect for the character that I was thinking about doing. And the last few things I have are this dark lipstick, which is a nice burgundy-ish type of brown pink. And then this one, which is kind of like this darker skin tone you could use it on. And the last thing I have is this. It's kind of purpley, more purple. So yeah, so this is basically my makeup supply. I will be turning these into some sort of artwork, but I am actually going to film my second part after I come back from work, because yeah, I have to work. And this is my actual makeup brush that I bought. It's the only one that I bought. It's supposed to be like a unicorn horn, but it reminds me of ice cream for some reason. So yeah, because this is super wide, I might actually go and buy something that's really like small. So I'll see what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so see you guys later, and yeah. So I am back from my day at work, and I finally bought brushes so we can get started on this makeup art challenge where I use makeup to draw art. So I'm going to show the brushes that I have first. These are the ones that I already have. This blush brush thing that came with like the blush kit that I use. This one is the unicorn one that I bought from work a long while ago. And then I do have this eyeshadow brush. I'm not sure if I can use it in any way or so. I also have this small brush that is for like this eyeliner. I'm not sure if I'll be using that one for sure, because That one has a bunch of the black eyeshadow on it already, so I don't want it to smudge. But if I'm gonna use that eyeshadow somehow and incorporate it into the drawing, I will. And then these were $6.99, and yes, they are from my workplace Miniso. It was a whole set. There were a couple sets where it was just only 2 brushes, and I was thinking about getting them, but I was like, there's not enough variety and they're not small enough, so I'm not sure if they'll work. So this one is a nice big one. And then we have all these different ones. This one's more angular, so I think this one will be good for like something small and detailed, and these two would be good for like the face and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's get started. Yeah. So for this makeup art challenge, I decided to draw Kaeya, cause why not? Also, I don't normally draw characters with a dark skin tone, and that's not by choice. It's actually just by chance that a lot of characters in animes that I watch normally don't have that pigmentation. Um but recently I have been watching more animes that have like different art styles, like My Hero Academia, and also playing games like Genshin Impact, so at least there's like some variation to like races and stuff like that, which I really like because you get to see different things. And also, as an artist, I do want to explore drawing characters with darker skin too, because I feel like because I draw normally like white skinned characters, it's very easy for me to say that it's difficult to draw someone who has like a darker pigmentation. So I really want to like get used to that. Kaeya is like Kaeya is like one of those characters that really helps me like, explore that type of like shading. I feel like normally it's easier to shade a character that has lighter skin, but that's just me. Every artist is different depending on like what characters you draw normally. I did start doing like dragon characters and stuff like that, so their colors are like inhuman colors because I wanted to explore the whole shading process of like characters with different skin colors and stuff like that. Kaeya is slightly tannish. He's not super dark like some people draw him to be in fan art, but I'm not gonna complain about that. Like, you can, yeah. So I first used it is a makeup art challenge, so I ended up using the foundation as a base for his skin. Turns out this foundation is pretty dark compared to like my own skin. This was actually my mom's foundation, so it's not even mine, to be honest, but I did use it for this. And then I shaded it in with this eyeshadow that I had. First off, I want to say the foundation is actually the easiest thing, like easiest tool that I like makeup that I put onto the paper. Everything else kind of went downhill in a really bad way, but I still think the end results look decent. They're pretty good for like a first attempt, but they're not the best. Like, it doesn't look like something I would draw like with using marker. So yeah, it's not super clean cut with like all the lines and stuff like that. So yeah, so basically I use the eyeshadow. It's like this dark brown eyeshadow, so I ended up using that to shade in all of the different details for his face. And then I switched to, and then I tried to use it for his lips, but later on you'll see I use like a different thing for his lips as well. So I did try to add some blush. It's not super noticeable just because this isn't a really dark blush compared to like maybe some other blush you could find in like a makeup store, but it was all that I had, so I ended up using that to shade in like on his nose and his cheeks and stuff like that. So I actually used this lipstick that was like pretty dark brown, and I used it for his actual lips. Um, to be honest, when it got to the lipstick, that was like the easiest stuff to put on, and then yeah, so now it starts going downhill a bit from here. Um, First off, I am trying to do his eye. I had a whole bunch of eyeshadow, so I ended up using that. To be honest, the eyeshadow you could use as blush as well, especially like this palette that I have, the Let's Go to the Moon palette that's from Essence, that I got from Shoppers Drug Mart. It's like you can use it for um blush and eyeshadow is literally what it says, and highlighting stuff on your like cheeks. But to be honest, it was really light and the pigmentation didn't show up that like dark on the paper, so yeah. So I struggled the most with that. So here I am just trying to use the blue. You'll notice the blue doesn't really look that great on it. Maybe it's also the fact that I used a cardstock, and the cardstock that I had isn't a white paper to begin with. I only had this cardstock from Walmart that I bought like a couple years ago, and it's basically this creamy color, and it's not even a white piece of paper, so maybe that's why. But I wanted to use this so that way the makeup wouldn't go through the paper, and I thought it would look nicer. I don't know if that had something like to do with the fact that the eyeshadow couldn't like stick up, like it's not bright on the paper, so the contrast was different. I also tried to use this dark purpley blue that I had as well, which is the other eyeshadow in this palette, but it kind of looks a bit too purple and a bit too dusty. It doesn't really look that great. So I tried to mix a whole bunch of blues together, and it wasn't really sticking on it well. To be fairly honest, there was a lot of pausing when making these like segments for like the videos and stuff like that, just because a lot of the makeup that I used was kind of just eyeshadow, highlighter, and blush, and it was really powdery, so I would always have to go to like the trash can and like blow off the powder bits that were excess that weren't sticking on the paper, because I didn't want to smudge it everywhere as I was doing this piece. So because those weren't really like the blue that I wanted, I ended up using this eyeliner that was a blue color. It's kind of like a pencil eyeliner, but to be honest, it's very crayon-like when I was putting it on the paper, which was a problem because it would be easily smudged. Also, like, it kept leaving a lot of bits like on the paper, which kind of concerned me because I didn't want it to smudge everywhere. So I was trying to be super careful, not touching it with my hand as I was drawing and coloring. Um, yeah, this part was not enjoyable. Also, like, this isn't a regular, like, crayon, like a pencil, like, eyeliner pencil. It was more of one of those eyeliner pencils that are retractable, so it's not like the pencil crayon types. I guess if I had the pencil crayon ones, it might be a bit easier, but this one was like, it felt like working with pastels again, because I remember using those, and those were like super, like they would leave a whole bunch of bits like crayons too, and yeah, it was not really something that I was like super happy to work with, but It was the only thing that I had that was blue and it could go on the paper and be as dark as I needed it to be. Everything else, like the eyeshadow, kind of looked way too faded or like didn't look blue enough. So I tried to do like this wavy effect with his hair as well, so his ponytail's kind of waving in the wind, that type of thing. Um, it it looks nice. It's just like I guess it didn't really fully turn out the way that I wanted it to be. I tried to like smudge it down with this eyeshadow brush thing that I had, but to be honest, that one kind of broke and then some bits got into the drawing and I had to like bring it to the trash can like quickly because there was just a whole bunch of bits on it. So yeah, that was not a good idea. I guess those brushes are kind of fragile, so when you try to press too hard with them, they just break. But overall, a lot of the materials were kind of difficult to use. Here I am just trying to smooth everything out of the piece of artwork. Um, I'm gonna be like stuck calling it a drawing, even though technically, I mean, you could classify it as a drawing. It's just made with like makeup tools. So yeah. So next, I was trying to add more blue to his hair. Um, Trying to do something. I didn't want to use too much of that other one because it kept making like really huge chunks. So I tried to put more blue here. So you'll notice it's like the outline of his hair, and then in the middle, it's kind of just like me shading a whole bunch of eyeshadow and stuff like that. Overall, I don't hate this portion of the drawing. It was a bit difficult, but it was just me playing around with everything and trying to figure out what worked best. Um, it does look super icy though, so it's not that bad. It goes with his vision anyways. I even tried to put some purple in, hoping it would bring out the blue and like the darkness of it a bit more, but it just it just didn't work. So after that, I tried to like put the gold bits. Literally, this was from the Over the Moon essence from that. It's the brand that I bought from Shoppers Drug Mart that was cheaper than most other makeup brands. I think it was like a Shoppers Drug Mart Life brand. But, anyways, I tried to use like the yellow part for like gold because it does look like gold, but it was super light and it just went on the paper as like glitter. Like all it did was make those parts look shiny, but not like gold enough. And then I realized I tried using a Q-tip as like It's like a test to see if it would put the pigments better for the blue, and turns out it did for the light blue especially. That one was super hard to get on to like the paper, like to get it like dark enough on the paper. So this one actually worked. I wish I had more blue colored makeup though, because to be honest, Kaeya has so much like different blues and shades of blues. Um, I technically needed more darker ones that would actually show up onto the paper itself, especially like a different type of makeup, like eyeliner or something, because this eyeshadow doesn't really stick properly. But I made do with whatever I had. I didn't really want to buy too much new makeup anyways, because this was all that I was going to use it for. So I tried dabbing the Q-tip in and then adding more blue, and it worked a little bit, but not as well as I liked it to be. This blue, honestly, it's good for like his corset part, like his jacket part that's like near his chest, because it has like light blue like that. But to be honest, for the most part, it wasn't really working well for the hair. So I tried to shade like different parts, but as I said, he has so much different blues in different areas. So some of the blues are off and they're not the right shades of blues, and they don't turn up super dark on the paper. So it's hard to tell that they're different from each other. Like this one, I was trying to use a different blue, but turns out it looks too light. So then I ended up going back with another blue to make it darker. But yeah. This part actually, I don't know. A lot of the parts took like way longer to do than I expected, just because it most of it wasn't sticking properly onto the paper, so I was kind of like just frustrated sometimes. But I just kept going anyways because I was like, this is good enough. It's like good enough for a first attempt, so I guess I wasn't like being too hard on myself when I was doing this. Um, But yeah, it was kind of difficult to get everything to look the way that I wanted. It doesn't look the way that I wanted, but I guess I'm so used to drawing with just like um marker where it would just have a clean look to it. This one was kind of more messy and fuzzy. Like if you were using pastels, there's a bunch of like smudging and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely this drawing wasn't something that I was used to, especially the way the makeup was like reacting to the paper, just not sticking properly half of the time. So for this one, I was like trying to use a darker blue, but then it's not coming up as dark as I wanted it to, but I kept going. So I was like, yeah, I don't have any other blues, so I'm just gonna use this one. Um, Yeah, I think for the most part, I like his hair and his face the most for what I ended up like coloring. Like, it looks more proper than the other sections. So, for the black part, I decided to use eyeliner. I switch between so many different eyeliners trying to see if it works. These do not work like markers. They're literally like, if you press too hard, it feels like it's running out of ink, but if you press lightly on the paper, it feels like there's enough ink, so you just gotta lightly go over it and not like try to press it super hard like a marker, which I'm not used to because normally for markers you just like draw as hard as you want and like it will um, get the darkest color out of it. So yeah, this was a bit difficult. I tried multiple different ones too because I had like 3 different ones and it was like I don't know which one worked well compared to the other ones. So now I'm just going over every part that's supposed to be like a black color. Um, Some parts I ended up kind of outlining, but I didn't outline a whole bunch because I wanted to stick with like how my style was. And also I felt like it was hard outlining with this type of tool anyways, like the eyeliner, so I just, you know, didn't want to start outlining everything with that and then run out of ink or like struggle with it. So yeah. I'm also going over his eye patch, which I don't know why. The eye patch is my favorite thing to draw. I really like drawing the collared parts too, but that's just because I like drawing collared shirts a lot. Um, so yeah, so that was something. I gave him like an eyelash look because that's how he looks like in the game, but I normally don't draw him with one, to be honest. So I normally don't draw characters with one, like anyways, like even if it's like a female character. So I really wanted to just add that to make him look a little more sassy than I normally would draw him. Also outlining his collarbone. Apparently, that's my favorite part of the body to draw because I always add collarbones um, to my drawings. If I can draw characters with clothing that show collarbones, I'll always draw the collarbone. Like it will be defined there. Like I don't know. It's just something that I always drew when I was growing up. Even in like high school, when I first was introduced to anime, I remember constantly just drawing the collarbone on every single character. I was like, yes, I have to for some reason. Like, even now when I draw like characters with shirts, it has to have that, but then because I'm adding like definition and stuff when they're wearing a shirt, it basically makes the character look like they're wearing a tighter shirt. So yeah. So it's kind of something that I have to be like mindful of when I'm drawing characters. Like how defined are they when they're wearing certain pieces of clothing and how tight is that clothing supposed to be on the character? Like there's certain things where if you're adding too much muscle on the character when they're wearing a shirt, it makes it look like the shirt is tighter than it's supposed to be. But Kaya's okay. His chest is like basically showing. So yeah. Um I don't know. Another thing is Kaeya isn't really, cuz he's like from a Chinese game. He's not super muscular. Like normally I'm so used to anime characters being super muscular, but he's one of those like leaner characters that's thinner and just fit. I feel like that's just like an Asian thing, like a Chinese Asian thing. So yeah, but that's basically it. Um so now I am outlining his like jacket part and then his sleeve. See, that part that's on his sleeve is supposed to be like a different color, but I didn't have any like lighter, brighter colors of blue, so it ended up being like a dark purpley part instead. I don't know. There was that eyeshadow that was supposed to be like. There's an eyeshadow that's supposed to be like a dark purple, a dark blue, but it has so much purple in it as well. So yeah, so it ended up looking purpley gray on the paper. Um, I feel like this paper isn't that good for the makeup. Maybe next time if I try to do like a makeup challenge with like drawings, I might end up using regular white paper and see if that actually helps with like the colors being brighter, like the different contrasts and stuff like that. So I also tried to put like a pinkish color to kind of outline the gold, but that ended up not working. So later on, you'll see that I have went to Shoppers Drug Mart and purchased a like highlighter color, like a highlighter type of thing for makeup that is like it's gold color, so I ended up using that. It worked out okay, but it still kind of ended up a bit light. I guess because it was supposed to be some sort of highlighter, it wasn't really like a full on like eyebrow pencil or anything like that or eyeliner. So yeah, so it's this one that I'm using now. So you can see the gold more, and it's hard to catch on camera, unfortunately. Like the camera doesn't like picking it up, but you can see the gold more. It's just not as um still not as dark as I wanted it to be because I'm so used to like drawing with markers. So yeah, the it's a huge difference for me actually. um but I still like how it turned out. It's like a new experiment. It's fun. um I feel like if you have like artist block, this could be a good way of like getting out of it, just like exploring new tools and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm just like always drawing the same stuff with the same markers and stuff like that, so I never get a chance to do like different things. Like normally I don't paint with acrylics or I don't do like different or like use crayons. I used to use pencil crayons for all my drawings, but then I stopped. So that was kind of like a thing where it's like I just use one type of medium and that's it. So I feel like this is a good way to like explore that. All my process work for Kaeya though will be in the description box below. So if you want to see all my social media, if you like and follow those, you'll definitely see all of that. Process work over there. If you have a request for like a certain type of character that you want me to draw, that I'll use like my actual markers that I'm comfortable with drawing, you can definitely request me to do that. Um, I was thinking about doing like D-Look in this, but to be honest, I don't have enough red pigments as well, so like of makeup, so I probably will skip that until like way later on. Um, but yeah, I don't have enough like makeup to do different characters, so this challenge was kind of really challenging, and I was trying to like go off of a budget, so I was trying to do stuff that I already had in my thing. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!